Hi, everybody. So, this is episode 3 of the podcast, and I am wearing my love letter top. Um, I have lots to say. I'll show you it. So, I did it more cropped. I didn't do the final panel of the heart baubles because, to be honest, I was just over it. Like reading the chart, and the baubles were like pretty annoying at the point that the needles were catching a lot, and I think it's because I used the cotton yarn. But I mean, I love the baubles here and the baubles on the bottom. The hearts look great. um the the pattern again is Kutovakika's love letter top. um so I think that's about it for the pros on this project, to be honest. Um, let's go with the cons. Unfortunately, not sure if you can tell in this light, but this is the yarn, okay? Much brighter because it's a light cream color with the speckles of color through it, the pink and blue. And if you look at my top, it clearly is a different color, right? So I did not block a gauge swatch before starting this. I was thinking, oh, everything's gonna be fine. Um, it'll fit. So it fits, but it's too big. So you can see that there. It's just hanging over. Not great. Um, and I blocked it afterwards for about 3 days. And upsettingly, the colors ran. So, like the little speckles that are in it, the pink and the blue, ran. So now the beige color is like a murky type brown. Kind of like, I don't even know how to explain it. Just it looks like it was kind of dipped in coffee for like a short amount of time. So it just looks really dingy. And I'm so upset because this took me so long. Well, 9 days, so not so long, but still 9 days. So for it to not look nice, that's upsetting. Um, and I can't really wear this, obviously, because it looks really bad in person. Like, I don't know if it's coming through on the camera, but the other thing is that it's super stiff. So I don't know if that's something that happens to cotton also. Once you block it, it gets really stiff. I have no idea, but this feels like cardboard on me. So it's just all around not great. If I was to do the love letter top again, which I know I said that I would never do the pattern again because it was just too much, but being that I didn't get a good result, I mean, even the I cord bind off looks terrible. Like it's all wrinkled, and this is after blocking. That shouldn't be the case. So, um, if I do it again, it's gonna be a long while before I do, but I definitely would not be using cotton next time. I might just do like a worsted weight yarn, um, like a like a size 4 yarn, and hope that the pattern pops, because that's what I did originally, the size 4 yarn, and it didn't, like the laces weren't popping like I thought that they should right away. So if I do try it again, I'm going to do it that way. Um, Definitely not going to be making any more tops with the yarn, because I mean, if I do the cotton yarn, I'm definitely not gonna block them, at least, because that was an awful thing to happen after working so hard on it. I was really excited about it being cute, and I was like, oh, I finished it early, so I'm gonna wear it for Thanksgiving. No, it just didn't happen. I mean, of course, I could still wear it and just explain what happened, but it just looks dirty. Um, and I'm really sad about that. And there's some spots where you can still see the light color beige. So it's like so bizarre that the whole thing didn't get this wash over it. Um, but yeah, so that was my experience with the cotton yarn, the peaches and cream. And it's crazy because, well, I mean, I guess it's not so crazy because the top that I had here hanging, I'll show you, the that looks great. But the reason that it looks so good is because I didn't block this one. So this was kind of in the beginning where I didn't really understand the significance of blocking and kind of how important it is. And it's crazy because I didn't block this one, but I did do a gauge swatch. And even the gauge swatch I didn't have to block because it was already laying pretty flat. So I have this gauge swatch here. This is what I did for this top that I didn't block. And it laid perfect, so I didn't have to wet block it or anything. Now, if I had, I would have seen that the colors ran, and I would have never picked it up for the love letter top. I wouldn't have even done this one, obviously, but that is a true lesson. And I'm definitely going to take this as, I mean, we're all learning. This is all a learning experience. I'm still fairly new at it. So this is a learning experience, and I know from now on, I am always going to do the gauge swatch. I am always going to do the gauge swatch, and I'm going to block it. Block the gauge swatch to see if the colors run. That is a life lesson that I think everyone should do. Take from this experience. So this doesn't happen to you, because this is really upsetting. I was so pissed off the second day when I went to go look at the top. I was like, why is it that color? What the heck? So I held it up like in the light, and I'm like, wait, what is that? And it was already feeling stiff and yucky. And I'm just like, what the heck? Like, what happened here? So yeah, that is just a bit of unsolicited advice here. Do the gauge swatch and block the gauge swatch before you start a big project. Because, I mean, especially if you're making a wearable, definitely do that. Yeah, so that is my update about that. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out. The pattern is fine. I did find that there was a lot of mistakes that I had to correct. Now, I don't know if that was just me with the yarn overs, and like I would have some times where the total stitch count after the end of a section wasn't lining up with what the pattern was saying. So, like I said, I don't know if that was me or the pattern. I don't know if anybody else experienced that. But I was able to correct it and get it back to the correct count that was needed. But at the end of the day, this top is definitely not going to be worn. The most I can think is I may just donate it to Salvation Army or Goodwill, just because it was still a lot of work, but it's not like the yarn wasn't affected for me to rip it back and then remake it. So I'm just going to probably donate it, and somebody will, I don't think everybody's going to have a problem with it. I have a problem with it because I know what it was supposed to look like. So yeah, like I said, it's not unwearable, but it's just not for me. So it's unfortunate. But that's what happens when you're making your own things, Handmade things don't always work out. But that's why we keep our knitting needles and we can try again. So, I'm not going to let it, take over, my entire life and, frustrate me to no end or anything. I'm just going to, like I said, try the pattern again. And I know not to use this yarn. I have a little knitting notebook. I'm going to make sure that I put that in there so I know going forward, just maybe I'll use this yarn for other things, ornaments or anything, since it gets stiff. Well, I probably won't wet block it. Maybe I could try steaming it with like an iron, see how that would come out, but I haven't tried that way of blocking yet. So just, a lesson learned, and just remember that if you get like a cotton yarn that's light with speckled colors in it, just make sure you do that gauge swatch and block it, because then that's going to show you if the color is going to change or not. Yeah, but on to happy and brighter things. I am going to be starting a new project. I am going to be making the simple raglan cardigan. I found the pattern on Pinterest, and it looks super easy for, like a first raglan. I've never done a raglan top down before, so I'm excited to try it. And I did already do a gauge swatch last night. I wet block it, and it's already fully dry. It's amazing. So I definitely like this yarn, as there was no bleeding, no color change or anything. It looks really good. It's really neutral for a cardigan. There's some dark grays in it, like a light brown, light gray, and white. So I think that this is going to look really good. I did get gauge on my first try. So the pattern calls for 6mm needles. And I'm using 100% acrylic worsted weight yarn. And I am going to be casting that on today. So my next update is going to be all about that. And I did make something else, actually. I made a gift for a family member. It's a hot water bottle holder. So let me get that so I can show it. I did this on like the 25th of November, and I finished it on, I believe it was the 27th. And the only reason for that was because I started it, and then I didn't work on it on the 26th, and then I finished it on the 27th. So I would have finished it in a day, but excuse my dog barking there. Somebody's at the door. So yeah, this looks really good. I have it in here already. Water bottle. And this yarn is so soft. I love it. It's going to be really nice for them. I really hope he likes it. I'm actually going to give it to him today. So I hope he's happy with it. And on that, I used 4mm needles. I don't remember what the yarn type is, to be honest. It was definitely a blend of something. I think there was some wool in it. Um, but I used the 4mm needles on the body, and it was Judy's Magic Cast On for the bottom. You can see how it's seamless. And I actually really like Judy's Magic Cast On. It's like super easy to do. You just follow a YouTube video and you'll get it right away. Um, I've made 3 of these now, and it's a super easy pattern to follow. I found it, I think I found it on Pinterest, I'm not sure, but yeah, I have to find what the name is, and I'll put that on the screen. And then for the ribbing up top, it was 3.5mm needles. So this is a really quick project. It's all stockinette until you get to the ribbing. Very easy. And also, right now, I have a lot of things going on. I have this little project bag that I'm using that I got from, actually it was like this this little giveaway of yarn and other things at this local store. Bob, what was it called? Back Mountain Makery, something like that. Something like that. I might be completely wrong, but I have in that bag a Musselburgh hat. So this is going to be like a scrappy Musselburgh hat. The yarn that I'm using is just a mixture of a bunch of worsted weight yarn in here. What I do with my scraps, if there's like a decent amount, I just connect them to other scraps and make a cake. So that's what this is. So it's going to be a bunch of fun colors. And yeah, I'm done with the increases. It's just stockinette now. But I definitely have not made a lot of progress at all on this. This is a fairly new cast on. So working on that. I have my little bee stitch marker showing my progress from when the increases ended, so I can measure from there on the length, because I need about 21.5 inches for the just stockinette tube. And I also have my little strawberry as my beginning around. Alright, so I do have quite a few things going right now, but I'm happy that I just finished that bottle holder because I wanted to be able to give it to him today. But I'm excited to start my cardigan, and I do have a pair of gloves also that are waiting to be done. I have a pair of socks that are waiting to be done, but I haven't worked on those at all. So this is going to be exciting. I love the colors, and I'm really, really hoping to have this one done by Christmas, so then I can wear my cardigan. Yeah. So that's all that I have today. Thanks for tuning in and seeing my progress here with my love letter top. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, but it's okay. We're going to move on and keep on knitting. So thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.